So Dave, very nice to meet you in person. Okay, and welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Enjoying Porto so far.
Very good.
Yeah.
So Dave, first question, and maybe the more interesting one. What the hell is order edit? Or order editing in this case? A lot of people say order edit, order editing, but
Order editing.
order editing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain us?
Absolutely. So it does exactly that. It is order editing for Shopify. So it's a Shopify app. And when a customer buys a product from a merchant on Shopify, after they've placed their order, it lets the customer log back in and change their address, add missed shipping offers, change the product, add more items, and essentially it solves a real pain point for retailers. So for the customer that's buying it, gives them a better experience, and for the retailer, it saves 15% of their support tickets, which are generated by customers wanting to change their order, and it also reduces 15% of their returns. So
when we first saw order editing on LinkedIn, and I spoke with a lot of people on this ecosystem, we argue a lot about order editing because we kept asking ourselves, like, is this really a thing? How these guys can create a product on top of editing an order after that order is placed? Is this really a thing? Because normally, at least from our perspective as an agency who runs a lot of e-commerce stores, we buy traffic or we drive traffic to a funnel, right? And the idea is like to convert that traffic in orders, right? And when the order is placed, don't touch it, right? At least is like what we understand on this. And so why? And is this really a problem? Is this really a thing? You have numbers, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, that's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. So I met Hamish, the CEO, founder, 16, 18 months ago, and I thought exactly that when I saw it. And actually, it's opened a new universe post-purchase. So they've created a product which is utterly unique, that solves a huge pain point for retailers, but also opens up an entirely new revenue stream. So we have customers that make $30,000 a month through post-purchase upsell revenue that they weren't making before, or $60,000 a month. Or we had a customer that made $90,000 in one day on the first day of their Black Friday sale, and it's an entirely new revenue stream for them, post-purchase upsells. So it just is something that I think retailers, perhaps, and the likes of you and I, by the sound of things, didn't realise was there in the first place, and that they can now take advantage of. So it's
but in our e-commerce typical strategy, we try to do upselling and all of the CRO part throughout Klaviyo, for example, right?
Yeah.
You do an upsell or you do a cross-sell, whatever. Like after your order is created, after your purchase, then we go, like, for example, one day after or some hours after, and then, okay, let's do an upsell or a cross-sell or whatever. You guys are doing it in half an hour, right?
That's right, yeah.
Post-purchase?
Yeah, so a lot of our customers will do it, will have order editing set to 15 minutes, half an hour, or an hour. The delay can be much longer.
Okay.
But it's immediately post-purchase.
Okay. And you, since you are doing great, you have numbers, so this is really a problem that you are solving in the end, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So, like I say, 15% of a retailer's support tickets on average are created by, can I change my address? Can I change my product? So that's an immediate resolution. So we add the app and those tickets disappear straight away.
Okay, so you are basically solving like maybe two main issues, right? One of them is, like, I would say, raising your average basket, right?
Yeah.
Or increasing your basket. And another one is like support, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Changing numbers, for example, for shoes, colors.
That's right.
For example, I don't know, I'm in a store, a fashion one, for example. Oh, I forgot to buy this or that, or
Yeah.
I just want another item, for example. You don't need to create another order, right?
That's right. So the way that we work is that we delay the order going to warehouse,
Yeah.
and we let the customer edit the order for an hour. So any changes, upsells, adjustments, and amendments are made to the first order number that's placed. So when it goes down to the warehouse, it's the same order that was placed in the first place.
Amazing.
So
But
it's a delay.
how do you guys deal with the payment part, for example? Because I'm assuming the customer, for example, paid 100 euros, right?
Yeah.
For an item, and I need to pay the extra, right?
That's right. So if anything happens to increase the basket size, the customer is prompted to pay extra to enter their card details again.
Okay, so you don't close the order, right? The order is
The order's open.
open. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
Amazing. So now I think obviously the question that I assume that most merchants will ask you and ask us as an agency when we pinch the order editing is, okay, but this is not the opposite. If you let the customer to change the order, right? Is this good? Can they cancel? Can they reduce the basket instead of raising it?
So order editing's got functionality that allows that the retailer can enable. So cancellations is a very good point. So a lot of smaller retailers won't want cancellations because they'll fear that will obviously reduce their overall sales. But cancellations is a feature in order editing that you can turn off.
Okay,
but
you can turn off.
What we see is that when retailers get to 50 million turnover or thereabouts, and they're employing someone full-time to run their cancellations, or they've got a cancellations team, that they will then make the decision at that level to enable cancellations so that they can save on the human side of it.
Okay, and also I asked you about email automation in Klaviyo, for example, a little bit ago. Do you guys have, for example, I go to the store. I made my purchase. I made my order. Do you guys send anything to the customer on editing your order, or what you can do with your order, or if the customer doesn't say nothing, the order is processed like a normal order?
So the first thing we do is we send the thank you email, which has, do you want to edit or view your order? Standard Shopify thank you email. But we also trigger a marketing email. Now that might be Klaviyo. A lot of our customers inevitably use Klaviyo, but it can work with any email platform. But essentially, when the customer places an order on the retailer's website, an email is triggered using, say, for example, Klaviyo, that says there's space in your basket for one more item. We're saving on shipping. Click here to add another item and save 20% or save 10%. So it's very much an upsell marketing opportunity.
Yeah, typical e-commerce mind games on both. Okay.
And that email is tremendously effective. So that increases post-purchase upsell significantly. So it's a very good idea to have it on. I think currently we're still recommending the same Klaviyo email that we did from the offset, 'cause it's very effective. But what we're hoping is that as we start to work with intelligent agencies that do email marketing, that are Klaviyo specialists, that they'll come to us and say, hey, I've got these great ideas about how we can make this a bit more intelligent. But at the moment, it sends a very effective marketing email.
Yeah, maybe also in loyalty, because you can increase your loyalty or giving points, for example, a typical loyalty program. When your customer go and do or add another item, for example, you can add another item to your cart, and you can do right with order editing, and you will earn XYZ points. I
love this idea.
Yeah.
So the beauty of post-purchase upsells is that they're detached from the marketing spend to make the order in the first place. So the concept is that a post-purchase upsell doesn't require ad spend to make it.
Yeah.
So essentially the margin on a post-purchase upsell is much greater, so you can afford to give a discount, and you could afford to also potentially give greater loyalty
and
points.
the customer is already acquired.
Exactly.
And every transactional email you send to that customer is about their order, so they will open it, right? I think it's quite effective.
You could give away more loyalty points for post-purchase upsells because there's more margin to play
of course,
with. It'd be
definitely.
really easy to do that.
No, very interesting because, like I said in the beginning, when we first look at order editing, for us was like, Jesus, how this can be possible?
Yeah.
Like you said, you also before entering order editing. So it's quite amazing. I love this type of apps, and that's one of the big things about the Shopify ecosystem. It's every day there's an entrepreneur creating some product or an app to solve a problem, right? And going quickly and fast to the economics part, how much it costs? What is your business model?
So it scales up based on order volumes. So it starts at $39 a month and scales up. So that's for a customer that's doing 1,000 orders. It scales up with
but it scales.
Bands,
if you are removing complexity in some cases, I'm not saying like increasing sales. Okay, I'm just, like you said, talking about removing the problem on customer support. Sorry, this adds value, of course. So if it scales, means that order editing is working, right?
Well, the bigger you are, the better the unit economics for order editing. So the higher the volume of orders you're doing, the less expensive per order editing is. And I think what I particularly love about order editing is that they've built their pricing so that the customer is, I'm not going to say guaranteed, but they're basically going to make more than 3 times the license fee in just upsell revenue alone. The reality is most retailers make 5 to 10 times the license fee, whichever tier they're on, but they've structured the pricing so that the retailer gets incredible profit from the app. The profitability, the app is the essence of profitability. So do less work, make more money. That's the essence of profitability.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So fewer support tickets, fewer returns, fewer 1-star reviews because I couldn't change my order an hour, like 20 minutes after I placed it because it's already gone to warehouse. So all of those things are gone or significantly reduced, and you're making more money. So it's in reality, and this is the commercial offering of order editing, and it sounds too good to be true, is the equivalent of a retailer gives me $1 and I give them 20 back.
Very interesting.
And the hardest thing, I think, selling order editing is for the customer to believe what sounds too good to be true is actually true. And that's why we need a lot of data and support and testimony.
I'm hearing you and thinking what is passing on my head is this is also an incredible way for you to give a better customer experience in the end, right? This is totally an app that changes the customer experience or the normal customer experience of an e-commerce store, right?
Yeah, I mean we get a lot of customers because they've shopped. So another CEO from a retail business will have bought a product on Represent. They'll have made a mistake, and then they'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute." How are they doing this? And then they'll start Googling how to Represent do this, or and then they come and speak to us. Like,
you mentioned in this also because you were talking like a CEO of a company doing a purchase and realize what the hell is this?
It's
and
magic.
It's magic. Yeah. So picking up on that, how do you guys reach to those bigger how can you get those type of big brands and customers? Because I'm assuming okay, this new era of entrepreneurs and also retailers that know Shopify's, they know, okay, an app can cost 40 euros, for example, or whatever, or for $14. But for a CEO of a big company, they think, this is cheap. Do I want this on my store? Because they normally are used to paying a lot for software, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the price, just to be clear, the pricing tier for the enterprise retailers is custom and done.
I know. No, but
but
in the end, imagine that you have you are a big merchant, you have a big store. Normally, a lot of them go custom. Now we are seeing a lot of those brands coming to Shopify, but normally they will think, okay, if I need to develop this will cost a lot of money, right?
I mean, the reality of the order editing problem is that it is so well known, and it's such a pain that a lot of our big customers have come through directly messaging them and saying we can solve your problem.
Okay, you go directly to those brands.
So we go to them directly. So our initial strategy was direct, mixed with a partner strategy, but because the target market for order editing is anyone that uses Shopify. And building agency relationships takes trust and time. We had to mix our strategy with direct to retailer whilst earning the trust of the agencies. But actually the bigger agencies, we would try and partner with them, and perhaps they'd be like, who are you? The business was kind of set up by two 23-year-olds, and when I joined, our sales cycle was 6 months. Or 3 months to 6 months, because the market's skeptical.
Completely.
So we had to win trust by winning merchants and getting great reviews and getting great numbers, and then talking about them. So a lot of the strategy has been about making the market aware. So influencing through conventional marketing channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, those kinds of Twitter, those kinds of channels. Predominantly LinkedIn. So raising awareness. Yeah,
because this is a very B2B thing, right?
But it is such a problem. And I'm not a retailer, so when I saw it, I was thinking, this looks like a brilliant idea, but is it really a problem? And then you start to realise that it's one of the biggest problems there's a lot of problems for retail that retailers have to overcome. But in terms of tech, this is the most frustrating little issue that retailers have
because you are solving a lot of problems, and you touch a little bit on email marketing or marketing automation and support, and also paid media. How do you work with those type of partners, right? I know paid media, support, marketing automation, they need to exist, right? But you are in the end removing this complexity or this problem. Okay, you are removing some necessities of those products, I would say. Okay.
I mean, we work with agencies, or historically, and this is starting to change because the app's evolved. But historically, we've been working with agencies on the basis that we can give you happy customers. So if you recommend us to a customer, we'll give you a happy customer, and then they'll trust you, and your retainer will extend. Our upsell features now have a fully customizable, so you can build in strategies within the upsell features, and they have reporting in there, so you can evolve your upsell campaigns, which is very much an agency game. And I think our partner strategy now is starting to work with agencies so that they can deploy the app, configure it, set up the email, build beautiful Klaviyo or other email platform emails, and build out strategies around post-purchase upsells and order editing.
For me, it makes total sense.
We're trying to make it a service value game for the agencies so that they can do clever stuff with it. And actually, I'm really excited, I think, about when the agencies start coming back and saying, have you thought about doing this? Or we're doing this for our customers
Yes.
with Klaviyo. We've got to set up this
Yeah.
campaign, and it's really successful.
Like I said, when I first saw it, I was going through my head like if this is really a thing, and then we start talking about it, and since we started to realize the capabilities of the app, of the product, you start to create your own ideas, right? Loyalty, game, or gamification in general with that, and how do you connect this with email marketing automations, etc. And in the end, I think for me as an agency owner, you also had an agency in the past, right?
Yes.
And I think it's important also because in the end you want your customer happy. When I say that your customer is your merchant, right?
Yeah.
And the merchant wants their customers happy.
Yeah.
So in the end, I think it's benefit to all of them.
I mean, it's important for me because I'm a trust seller. I sell based on trust to people that I like or people that I've worked with in the past, and I can only sell them things that I believe in. So, and this I would say, and I'm involved in a few apps and projects, but this app is a kindness to recommend to your customers. I recommend it to my customers, old and new, and I think if you put this on, it's a kindness. Sometimes it's harder to sell to them than you would imagine, and it's almost like, what, this is going to solve a lot of your problems, and that to me, that I find that quite frustrating.
Yeah, but I think when you go to direct to a merchant,
you can't demand that they put it on. For medical reasons. This will solve your problems.
But in the end, I think that they will ask you those type of questions like, is this really will solve my problem or no, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. They need to feel the click, right? Yeah.
I'm working with one at the moment. I'm working with one that I know from a long time ago, quite an old school business, and they're saying things like, we'll put this on and in 3 months' time we'll see the benefit. And it's like, no, you put it on and it's immediate. Yeah. And at the end of it, you'll be like, wow, why was I not doing this
interesting
before?
Point, because when you go to the App Store, a lot of apps, because obviously there's a lot of apps that have they compete with each other's, right? And we see a lot of this stuff like, I can give you 3 months, or I can give you 1 month trial, etc. Don't you think this is like? It's not a question of trust; it's a question of business. You want them, and you go to the App Store, and it's outrageous, right? You have a lot of apps, and I think next 2 or 3 years we'll have a lot more. Obviously, it's an app store, and it's very successful. But don't you think this when you give like 3 months to use your app, it's quite like, I don't trust my app as much?
Yeah, actually, we had longer trial periods to start with, and the trial periods have reduced. So on the Plus tier, it's a 14-day free trial, but that's based on the fact that it works. So
no, because we see a lot of app people pitching us.
It's like put it on.
Putting on. I give you 3 months of the product, etc. I know why, because like I said, when you go after, you see, you have like 4 or 5 or 6 apps competing with each other. So it's a question of doing business and earning the lead and getting installations at some point, right? But I think if you have an app, you have the numbers, etc.
I think it
builds trust.
I think we have sold to 600-700 of the best Shopify customers. I think across our lifetime we might have churned 20 odd customers. And I think we're actually now in negative churn because the app's evolved. This was from when it first started. The app's evolved. We're actually going back to our old customers now and saying, hey, we've added all this stuff and these bits have been improved. And so we're starting to win back the customers that we churned in the earlier days of the app.
This also works. This works with Plus and non-Plus Shopify
Plus
stores.
and non-Plus. So some of the upsell features are in checkout. So those ones are only available if you're on Plus, but that's not our restriction. That's because you can't in Shopify put the appropriate things in
Maybe
the
at some point in time, Shopify will evolve
It would be
the
nice.
checkout extensibility.
That would be nice.
Maybe, yeah.
But you leverage that to get people to upgrade to Plus.
But it can also edit your order and do everything post-purchase, right?
The bulk of the app post-purchase.
Okay.
The reason that the app was popular in the first place is all available for all versions of Shopify. We've just built some newer upsell features that sit in checkout.
Yeah, work on checkout.
Yeah.
Picking on that and going through the type of business where order editing is, I would say, a fit. Do you guys have like a fit or on a type of business like fashion, electronics, or is an app that everyone can use?
I mean, the reality and the reason that I was most interested in order editing when I saw it is that their target addressable market is everyone that uses Shopify that sells stuff.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, we've done really well in kind of fashion, supplements, technology, and that's, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the use cases, but
the cool brands seems like I would say certainly in fashion, clothing, and apparel in the UK, we've now sold into most or all of the major. Well, a lot of the major brands or the recognized.
I don't know
brands.
if I can say it because I run into a customer that uses order editing, Xclad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very famous brand of selling
very big
cookware from Gordon Ramsay, and I was seeing an Instagram ad from them.
Yeah.
I loved it. I went to the website. I say, okay, let me buy a frying pan from them, and interesting. I bought one to test it. Okay, let me see if this is the real thing, right? And when I bought it, and I went to the website again, because I was thinking, okay, if I want another one, I need to purchase, but I need to try this one. It's the size of the pen this way. I was thinking I just purchased, but I don't know if this is the item that I wanted. And I went to the website again, and I was oh yeah, but I didn't saw if I bought 2 or 3 items, I will have 25% discount.
Yeah.
Okay. And was the first time I saw order editing working. Was I didn't know was order editing. Okay. I was I can edit my order, and I just put it 2 more items on the cart to get 1 free. I think it was not 25%. Is 1 free. Buy 3, have 1 free. And I edit my order. I add the products. I had the promotion, and that's it. It was like magic.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And I didn't know anything about order editing. I was a normal customer.
I love that.
I just discovered when I met you, when I saw your app. Yeah. It was 2 months ago. Yeah.
And I mean, everywhere we go, we meet people that have experienced order editing now. It's weird. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And we've worked really hard on making it a good experience for the customer of the retailer and a good experience for the retailer. So the whole business now is built on trust and positive stories from the successful application of the products.
Yeah, and I hope Amazon added this to their checkout, because we bought a lot of things on Amazon.
Yeah,
we put stuff, etc. Oh, but I also need to add this on the order because it will arrive on Wednesday or something like that. And we cannot. You need to put another order, and then you will not save on shipping. So
that is annoying, isn't it? Yeah,
it's annoying. Yeah.
So one day Amazon will catch up with us.
Maybe they will invest some millions.
Maybe they're short of money or something.
Exactly. or they have a lot of them to spare. Dave, first of all, thank you for this moment.
It's been a pleasure.
For this talk. And thank you also for your talk on Shopify Connect in Portugal. Hope I see you next year as well.
Of course.
Okay. And
we'll travel.
Yeah, let's enjoy Porto now a little bit.
Yes.
Our good cuisine,
the local
culinary,
cuisine.
yeah. And thank you again.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
for the
you,
invite.
and maybe we will have some more talks like this during the year. Not physically, of course, but online, of course. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
See you guys.